Hey everyone, it's Dominic from the Primetime Treasure eBay store and YouTube channel. I am right now heading off to the home of somebody who had put up a Craigslist ad. Now, this was his own ad, not responding to my ad, saying that he has 14 long boxes of comic books that he's trying to sell. Now, that's about 4,000 to 5,000 comic books approximately, depending on whether or not they are protected with bags and boards. I immediately reached out to him when I saw the ad last night, and he responded to me this morning. He told me that he is someone who sells locally as well. He might be the guy who is someone I have heard of when I am going around asking people for comic books in their garage, and the garage sale, and they tell me, oh, someone just stopped by and asked for comic books. So this is probably that guy. So if anything else, I'm just interested to kind of find out who this is. But so he does have a business, a sole proprietorship, not an LLC like I do. But he is intending on doing that. So it is trickier to make deals like this, especially with comic books, when you're trying to buy from another seller, because they tend to know the values a little bit better. At the same time, you could try to relate to them because they know what it's like trying to buy a bulk purchase. So, if he's just trying to make space, he might be willing to sell them out at the right price. Now, he claims most of the books are what we call filler books. In other words, they're books that aren't really necessarily worth that much individually, although he did say that he does have some of those there. So, if he does, that would be good. If he has some, more, expensive books of what we call keys. So if he has some of those key issues, that would be something I'll be looking for. It's really going to come down to, are there valuable books in there, and what is the price that he wants for it? I have so many books that I don't really feel the need that I have to purchase this. So that's a buyer advantage, and that's what you want. You don't want to be in a position where you're desperate to make a purchase. So, I'm already, fine with my comic inventories. I'm only going to make the deal if it is the right deal, the right situation. There's no point to be making any gambles or anything, for this type of collection. So we will see what's there. I will let you know once I've had a chance to look. I doubt I'll be able to turn on the camera. If I can, I will. And we'll see what happens. This is either going to be a really, really big purchase in terms of volume, or I'm just going to walk away empty-handed. So we'll see. Hey everybody, I'm out of there and I am empty-handed. And the reason why I'm still doing this video is to be real with you, so that you understand that not every time you go to one of these Craigslist deals that it's going to be something that's going to work out. A lot of times I'm coming back and I'm showing you all this stuff that I found in an estate sale or at a garage sale, but there's plenty of other sales that I've gone to in between there where there was nothing and I couldn't find anything. So that happens a lot, and so I want to make sure I clearly get that point across, especially if you're someone who's just starting out. Sometimes you need to know when to walk away. So let me just tell you about what happened. I walked into the guy's house, went downstairs into the basement, and he had two big shelves that he had set up where he had stored 12 long boxes of comic books. Now, these were all bagged and boarded. They were alphabetized, and they were in very good condition. There were no key issues, so there wasn't anything that I was going to find that was going to be worth a lot of money. I'd basically have to make my money taking my time with them, processing them over time, and just bulking them out in small little lots, because, again, there's no one individual book I'm going to make a lot of money on, which is normally something you're looking for when you are buying a collection like that from a collector. But I'm not buying from a collector. I'm trying to buy from someone who also sells. So this is all stuff he has mostly tried to sell before that didn't sell. And so now he's just kind of got this left over for the most part. There are a couple of boxes there that were newer ones that he hadn't tried to sell yet, but most of it was that type of stuff. Now, They didn't sell where he was trying to sell them on eBay. I know I would have been able to flip it, but to do that, I have to get it at the right price, especially for comic books, because that's the main thing that I deal in. So whatever it is for you that you specialize in, you obviously want to make sure you get that at the price that you know you need to get it for. For me, that works out to about 15 cents per comic book. That's really where you have to get it at. And, no more than 20 cents. Ideally, if you get it for less than 15, that's great, but 15 would be right where you'd want to be. So in terms of how many books there were, in 12 long boxes, just as a general rule of thumb, if all the boxes have bags and boards on them, there's going to be between 250 and 300 comic books in that box. So on average, you just say 275. You multiply that by 12. That tells me there's approximately 3,300 comic books there. If I need to get them for 15 cents a piece, I just take a number that I know is right around there. So that's like, say, take $500. $500 divided by 3,300 puts you right at about 15 cents. Now, turns out that this guy does know a lot of the comic book dealers in the area. He knows a lot of the comic book store owners, and I know them as well. And so one of them that he goes to the most had offered him on the collection. Initially, he didn't tell me how much the person offered, but I know in the top of my head that he's going to also try to come at it from the 15 cent per book range. So what happened was I just basically said to him, after he asked me, well, is it something you're interested in? I said, well, yeah, I'm interested in it. I would have purchased it, but I have to get it for the right price. I was very upfront with him. I let him know what I do. In fact, I told him that before I went there, that I'm a reseller, that I have a business. And so, we just got to talking about that type of stuff. And he basically said where he wanted to be was $1,800. And I told him we're not even close. And he just looked at me and said, okay, well, where are you at? And I told him, I'm $500. That's the max I'm really going to go. Now, I would have maybe went up a little bit more, but pretty much 500. I wasn't going to go too much off of that. And I said to him, well, what did this other guy offer you? He probably offered you around the same amount, right? He said, yep, you pretty much exact same number. And that's how I purchased it. I purchased it at the rate that a comic book store is going to purchase a collection like that, because I've got to get them wholesale. And it's especially important for me, if you think about it, because I'm selling it online. The guy in the comic store, he's selling it in his store. Now, he has other overhead that he's, or she has to account for. But I still have to factor in that I've got to bag them, I've got to board them if they're not bagged and boarded. In his case, they are. But I do have to factor in, shipping and handling and all those types of things. I do free shipping. So, there's all those other costs you have to take into consideration. Anyway, he then said the lowest he would go is 1,000. So that would be about 30 cents per book. Now, someone might make that deal and you could probably make some money on it. But again, in my situation, I already have so many collections that for that type of collection, which is mostly filler, even though I love comic books and I love to buy collections, you got to know when to walk away and when to pass. And, it was still good to network. That doesn't mean we might not come together in the future to make some type of deal. I gave him my business card, which I highly recommend you carry around a business card. We talked about, hey, maybe if there's a really massive collection to purchase that we find out about sometime in the future, maybe we go in on it together. We live about 5 minutes away from one another, so it's good to have a local contact. So, you network like that. He told me a couple things that I didn't know about, the things that kind of going on around in the area and stuff like that. And so, just share a little information. You get little tidbits, little hints, little tips and tricks and stuff that's helpful. So that's pretty much the basics of it. Again, just wanted to recap for you. Sometimes you just need to know when to walk away, and then, it's not going to work out. Don't feel that because you took the time to go to the place that the person's going to get offended if you don't buy something and you don't want to walk out, and so you wind up making a deal that you'll later regret. Some of these purchases are big purchases and you don't want to make a mistake on it. So be conservative. Yeah, sometimes you want to take a risk in the right situation. This isn't the one you want to take a risk on, folks. So that's it. I hope you like this video. Again, it's another kind of like tip-like video. We'll be going back to some haul videos soon because, you know, estate sales, garage sale weekend is coming up. If you like this video, hit the like button down below. Make sure that you, you know, drop a comment if you have a comment that you'd like to make. I always love to hear the comments. Also, make sure you join my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center. All sorts of tips and suggestions there. To be on the lookout item of the day is worth its weight in gold just for that, and it's free, of course. Just hit a join request when you go to the Facebook link and I'll let you right in. And also make sure you subscribe. That little treasure chest pops up the end. Make sure you hit that. That shows support for this channel, and that's important. So I like to see that. Like to see those subscriptions go up. So appreciate those who have subscribed. If you're watching these videos and you're getting some out of it and you haven't subscribed yet, that's the only thing I ask is just to subscribe, because then you'll also get notifications when new videos are out. So that's pretty much it, fellas and ladies. I am going back home and gonna put some orders together, and I'll see everyone soon. Take care.